We've got two things to talk about, although you may have more. The first is that a letter that I had sent to Trinity United Church of Christ, my home church, for some time now, was apparently released to CNN, and so I think it's important that everybody get a chance to ask me some questions about this. Michelle and I told Reverend Otis Moss that we were withdrawing as members of Trinity. Now, it's a decision that Michelle and I had discussed for quite some time after the National Press Club episode. I had discussed it with Reverend Moss. We had prayed on it. We had consulted with a number of friends and family members who were also connected to the church. And so this is not a decision I come to lightly, and frankly, it's one that I make with some sadness. Trinity was where I found Jesus Christ, where we were married, where our children were baptized. We have many friends among the 8,000 congregants who attend there. We are proud of the extraordinary works that the church continues to perform throughout the community to help the hungry and the homeless and people in need of medical care. I have tremendous regard for the great young pastor who has taken over, Reverend Moss, and continue to admire the work that Reverend Wright did in building up the church. But it's clear that now that I'm a candidate for president, every time something is said in the church by anyone associated with Trinity, including guest pastors, the remarks will be imputed to me, even if they totally conflict with my long-held views, statements, and principles. We obviously saw an example of that in the recent statements by Father Pfleger, who is somebody who I've known, who I consider a friend, who has done tremendous work in Chicago, but made offensive statements that have no place in our politics and in the pulpit that unfairly mocked and characterized Senator Clinton in ways that I think are unacceptable. It's also clear that Reverend Moss and the church have been suffering from all the tension my campaign has visited on them. We've had news organizations harassing members at their homes and their workplaces. We had reporters grabbing church bulletins and calling up the sick and the shut-in in an attempt to get news about the church. We've had news organizations scrutinizing Reverend Moss's sermons and attempting to try to make political hay out of even the most innocuous or innocent remarks by him. That's just not how people should have to operate in their church. It's not fair to the other members of the church who seek to worship in peace. So our faith remains strong, and I expect that we will find another church home for our family. Obviously, Michelle and I know that faith and prayer aren't merely exercises discharged on Sunday, so we understand that our faith is something that we apply each and every day, and it's a bulwark for us in our daily lives. And so we wish only the best for our friends and the wonderful people at Trinity. They'll be in our thoughts, and they'll be in our prayers, and hopefully with this decision, they will be in a position to get back to doing what they do, which is worshiping God. And hopefully when we join our next church, we will be in a position to do what we would like to do at church, which is to worship and fellowship and reflect on our faith. So that's on the Trinity issue. I'll just make one more comment about the DNC, and then we'll just open it up for questions. My understanding is that the votes have been taken, and that there has been what appears to be a resolution of both the Florida and the Michigan situation. As I understand it, all the delegates will be seated from both states, and they will receive half a vote each. This results in Senator Clinton obtaining a substantial number of additional pledged delegates. She nets a significant number of additional pledged delegates, but I also understand that many members of the Florida and Michigan delegation feel satisfied that the decision was fair, and our main goal is to get this resolved so we can immediately turn the focus of the entire party on winning Florida and Michigan and delivering on the needs of the people in Florida and Michigan, states that are enormously important, states where a lot of people are struggling. So, I recognize that there were compromises on all sides in resolving this issue. I'm glad that the DNC worked it through, and I hope that we can start focusing our attention on the substance as opposed to just the process of politics, and start explaining to the American people how the Democrats are going to improve their lives.